Are we a quorum?
No.
You're alive.
We're live, but no quorum.
Gary Peterson is at City Hall and we're attempting to get him logged in.
Okay,
And so then you would have
a quorum.
a quorum. So I'm going to go check to see how that's going. I think Desharee is assisting in that. Find my mouse to turn.
Who was that masked man?
I don't know, but he doesn't look like Christy.
There we go. Thank you, Dave Sharif, for your help.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
For the delay there.
Hey, Gary,
Yeah, hi.
it's been a while.
I was just saying something to John. He said it was August that we met last. Is that
Yeah.
My.
possible? Yeah. So
Okay, so we are live on YouTube right now, Gary, and I believe you are still the chair. Let me share my screen. And I'm going to share that screen. Can you see the board docs?
Yes.
I can, yes. Agenda items.
Yes. So we are at call the meeting to order.
If I'm the chair, I guess I will call this meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission to order as of February, is today the 18th already?
17.
17, pardon me. February 17, 2022.
Great. I will go ahead and do roll call. We have Gary Peterson, who is the chairperson in attendance. We have Mike Denny. We have Ed Kontz. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Ed is not on. And we have Terry Gottschall. We do have a vacant position. Position number 1 is vacant, just as a reminder to everyone. Stanley Green chose to leave the position, the commission, in hopes of getting on to a different commission. So we thank, I guess at this point, I'd just like to take a second to thank Stanley for his participation in the helping of the formation of the Historic Preservation Commission, and his involvement was very much appreciated, his efforts and time.
Is the other commission he's hoping to get on here with the City of College Place? He'll still be here for us?
Yes, he's still in, he still resides in the city, so he's looking
Good.
hoping to get on another different City of College Place commission. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good luck.
I guess we'll move on to the consent agenda.
And go ahead, Mike.
I propose that we accept the consent agenda.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That was unanimous, all three here.
All right. Sherry, do we have anybody in attendance that has a public comment? I'm not able to see anybody.
I have not heard of any public comments.
Okay. Thank you. So the next item on the agenda would be into our regular agenda. And that would be election of officers for 2022.
I don't know if this is the right time, but my understanding from just reading the agenda, Ed, Terry, I, and Mike all are to serve through the end of December of this year, 2022. And the election would be in what, October of 2022?
Well, usually at the beginning of each year. Oh, we're in 22.
Yeah.
At the beginning of each year, we were required to elect new officers. It can still be the same. You can reappoint.
Those that served before to serve
Yes.
again.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I would be willing to do that if there's no other objection, just in the interest of, streamlining the system and keeping everybody on board.
Great.
Well, I move that we affirm or reconfirm Gary then as chair for 2022.
Second.
Is Ed there? Ed's not here today, is he? Well, I guess I'll vote in favor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, well,
No insurrection here, Gary.
sounds good. We will continue on then.
You need a vice chair as well.
Well, I figured you were both chairs and vice, but humor there. I'll leave that for whoever you guys should want to. Is there time? Yeah, I don't know if there's.
I have a proposal. I would like Terry to be vice chair, if he's willing.
I am, unless there are expectations of physical meetings or being out and about a lot. I can happily do it so long as we're Zooming.
And that was going to be a question I was going to bring up. Should we continue these Zoom type meetings, or are we far enough along through the pandemic that we can meet in person again? What's the feeling of those committee members that are here and present today?
Well, let me go ahead and step in and just take the lead on this, because our current policy still is to hold only virtual meetings until after we have our council room renovated, which at that point in time will accommodate hybrid meetings where members of the various commissions and council will have the option to attend in person at a live meeting, while the city is still able to conduct a virtual meetings for those that don't want to attend live. But we don't have that capability just yet. We are at 95% plans design for renovation of the council room. So once we get those plans completed, we're going to go out to bid and hopefully construct this late spring and get it all built. We'll have a new council chambers, new electronics, new camera systems. It's supposed to be pretty sweet. So until then.
So it sounds like we'll continue to do Zoom until the renovation of the council chambers, which might take another 4 to 6 months.
And even once we do have the council chambers renovated, if there are members that want to attend remotely, Terry, you will be more than welcome to log in as you are now through Zoom.
Good. Thank you.
And conduct business.
Good.
Thank you.
That sounds great.
So I move that we accept Terry as vice council chair.
I second that. I'll second that.
All right.
We have a first and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, congratulations, Terry. I'm glad you're going to be here and helping out with this. Appreciate it.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Historic Cemetery grant that we received. We applied for this, staff applied for this grant in 2021. The proposal was to install a granite monument at the Walla Walla County Poor Farm here in College Place. There are somewhere between 600 to 700 people that are buried in that cemetery, as you are all aware. And this grant will allow us to construct roughly a 10-foot by 8-foot by 6-inch thick monument sign at the cemetery. So it'll say Walla Walla County Poor Farm on it. And then it will list all of the known people that were buried at the cemetery. So that we haven't signed the contract yet, so I can't get you know, a slab of granite on order just yet, but that's in the works. In the meantime, we do have a bit of research that needs to be done. Stanley Green graciously got a hold of Walla Walla 2020, and Dan Clark has been in touch with us. Mary Meeker, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was the one that did the original research for the sign that is currently in the park, that and with the names on it. And so we have an initial list to work off of, but since these are being cast, you know, carved into granite, we're going to want to make sure that we look over the county records and cross-check again with the list that we have, make sure we have the spellings correctly. We may want to opt to put the if it's known, the date of birth and the date of death on there as well. Some of the documents list that, some of them don't. So that's an option for us, but there's a considerable amount of, it's going to be more tedious than anything. I mean, the documents are located, they've already been photographed. It's just going to be a matter of going down that list and trying to decipher the spelling of the names and getting that correct. So I'm wondering if we have any volunteers on the commission that want to take on that effort.
Where
Are those documents digitalized?
Yeah.
Yes. So here's the sign that was created, and I've been able to just copy from the PDF the names and paste them into a Word document, so we don't have to retype anything there. And then Walla Walla 20's website has the pictures from the record books that you can download. And I just clicked on one link. And so are you seeing this all? Everyone seeing this fine?
Yeah.
I can see it.
They've documented it. So there's the cover, and I'll just open up, one of these documents. So, it's all handwritten, mostly cursive. Doesn't look like there's like on this document, I don't see any dates, but it could be. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, I can't get it open any bigger than that. But I also visited the county the county records and photographed them with my iPhone last fall. So I will make those available to whomever has volunteers to take a look at this stuff. If that's helpful, I think that might. I think it'll be easier to get in there and blow those up than working off of a website, because any photos that are on websites, the file sizes get shrunk down, so they're easier to view. The screens come up quicker and stuff, but that limits the quality of them. So.
Well, I'm certainly willing to be one of them that goes through this. It'd be good to have help might be more fun too. This should be an interesting assignment. In 1922 to 1942, you say we have records?
Well, that's what I'm seeing right here is 1922.
Like 1891, it says, but that's,
Yeah,
Maybe this is just this book that we have up
Yeah.
on the screen.
well, these are pre-20, yeah, it says pre-1922. Are there additional records that would provide the dates? Or is it just the list alone that we have now?
there there are some loose leaf records in the books, but they're like death certificates. So if you were to visit the county records office there up on the second floor where you go in the courthouse and you go over to where like you're going to get your tabs and stuff, registration, you go into that area, go back into a vault. Gary, you know
Okay.
about that. And they have these books available to look at. And there are some loose leaf documents in there that are death certificates from that time period. And they're all supposedly associated with the poor farm. And I haven't gone through these records on the website to see if they have pictures of all of those, or, because we've got from 1891 to 1922 and then 22 to 1942.
So from my research, it was stated in several sources that they also buried any bodies that they found anywhere in Walla Walla County there that they did not know or have ID for. So the indigent got buried there as well as the unknown. So
Interesting.
Well, yeah, I wonder when what is our timeline on this? We would want to start researching and getting as much information on the names on the list starting this next month, I suppose, huh?
Yeah, starting in March would be good.
Yeah.
Well, I'd happily participate as well, if I could work from home.
Yeah, if we can get some sort of a record from the auditor's office, it would be good to have 3 sets of eyes on everything to see if we're missing anything. Maybe Mike and I could go through things and then get them to Terry and Ed. I don't want to speak for Ed since he's not here, but yeah, never having done this before, is that the best way? Just let the county know what we'd like to do and then ask to go through their records there in the vault?
Well, so the county won't reproduce, they won't make copies for us.
you can just photograph them though.
So I have photographed stuff, but I think it would be, I think if I can get you guys the digital photos first, and then you can look at those, but I think you should look at those and then for yourselves, actually contact them, make arrangements to come down there and view these books.
Okay.
So that you can take a look at them in person. And after you view the digital stuff, there might be some stuff on there that you're like, I'm going to need to look at that one in person because it's not legible, so to make your trip down there and do some additional research.
Okay.
So after March, I can be involved with this, but until the end of March, my time is eaten up elsewhere.
Yeah.
But another source is the obits from the UB starting when they started. And they may have some additional death dates and whatnot for some of these people.
There must be a county or state collection too of death certificates, either in Olympia or up at Cheney at the regional archives, I would think as well.
I would think there would be. Yeah.
Well, I have no idea. I suspect that if it's in the auditor's office recorded, and I didn't know that they recorded deaths.
Well, they didn't. The auditor's office didn't, but they ended up with the books.
Yeah.
Oh, so the county books went to them and they're just holding them now. Oh, okay,
Basically, they store them.
yeah.
But I think additional information, if we can't get names and dates of death, I think the UB and some of the older newspapers at the museum would even have those.
Yeah, now that raises a question. So say we're looking at the list of somebody that died in 1899 from the Poor Farm record, and say their name was, John Smith.
That's
How
the
do
same
we-
guy.
How do we know if we're looking at a obituary in the Statesman or the Bulletin that is indeed the same John Smith or not? I haven't even looked at obituaries for that old a newspaper. I don't know what kind of information was provided.
Well, it plainly states that if they were living at the Poor Farm, it will say so-and-so died at the Poor Farm and give the death date.
Okay.
But if it's an indigent just found dead somewhere, it just says so-and-so passed away on such and such a date, and that was it. Doesn't state where they end up being buried.
Okay. Well, this should be interesting. A lot of work too, but we might as well get started on it. When are we hoping to put this memorial slab up?
Well, the grant has to be completed in 2 years of receiving it. So we have time. I mean, the caveat to that is you can't apply for another grant until you've completed the first one usually. So if we end up wanting to do, something in order for us to start another one, we can't, we got to get this one completed. So we usually try to do them in a year.
Yeah, in a year, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, this is probably as good a thing as I can think of to use the grant for. So.
Oh, yeah, we have to use it for this, but what I'm saying is that when the next grant cycle opens up, they won't award you another grant for a different project until you completed the previous project, the current project.
Okay.
So we need to recruit another member as well to help with this.
Yeah, that is something that I would like you guys to think about is we've done advertising, but nobody's applied for the vacancy. So if you know of anybody that might.
This is for to be on the commission or to assist in this
To
particular
be on the
okay.
commission.
Okay.
I know several folks I will contact and see what they say.
Carrie Amott's retiring from teaching
That
at
was-
the end of this school year. She might be interested.
Yep. I think she'd do very well.
Ideally, they would be residents of College Place. I think Terry, you're the only, no, both you and Gary are not residents of College Place, right?
That is
I'm-
correct.
So any new additional members should be residents of College Place.
We're carpetbaggers, Gary, carpetbaggers.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
We don't hold it against you, but
Yeah.
If Walt Meskie's health were better, I would say Walt.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so, any questions on the project, going forward or?
So, John, I just have one, and that is, as the names are, I would say, checked and confirmed, and they go on a list of confirmed, accurately spelled, everything. And we find additional names, say at another source, that were buried at the poor farm. I'm just wondering, it's all right to have multiple resources, multiple sources of names, or do you want to stick with what the county has?
I think if we can document that this person was buried there, then.
Yeah.
So if we come across, if it's death notices and that sort of thing, we just need to document that they're buried there. I don't.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And we could, we could think about how the actual language on the stone, the granite, we could list, these are the people that we know were documented to be buried here. And then if there are some others, we could say, these people are, thought to be buried here or possibly buried here. And we wanted to include them, or I don't know,
Yeah. Yeah.
or even in addition to that, making a note to, just a note that about the other other people that were buried here that, we don't know their names, and, there are other souls here or something. I don't know.
Well, what's really unusual about Dan Clark's list and the other ladies' list is that they have included several Chinese names. And typically from the 1890s to 1920s, Chinese were not included in anything. And so that's really unusual. I'm glad to see it, but it's really unusual. So anyway.
And some of these names have question marks behind them. I'm guessing that means that they were not able to identify their first name.
Probably.
Like right here.
Yeah. I see
another
one
down.
Anderson. Yeah.
I'm not sure whose brother it was, but
yeah.
Another
Bones.
Wow, a lot of infants.
Yeah.
Not surprising.
No.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any dates on here, so Mary must not have been able to identify the date of death for any of these.
I would guess not.
Is she still living? The lady
she is
with
no
the
longer
flowers?
with us. No.
Oh, rats.
What?
Like to talk to her.
She died, what, 8 years ago? 6 years ago? Something like that. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Anything else on this topic?
Not that
So
I
I
can
will
think.
be working on getting some quotes. Probably I'm going to try to get 3 different quotes. Which
This is quotes for the actual
for the stone and the engraving and that.
Okay.
But we're thinking of a 10 by 8, which is pretty good size.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of names, so.
Yeah.
So have you seen the monument out at Madame Dorian Park that tells the story of Madame Dorian at the mouth of the Walla Walla River?
No.
It's her entire history, and it's quite the monument. It's pretty amazing, but it was done right here in Walla Walla. And I'm truly, and the slab is roughly the shape of Walla Walla County.
Oh, really?
And it's really interesting and very well done. And one more thing, it would make an incredible film. Her life would make an incredible movie. But it has nothing to do with us. But what I'm saying is, we should have anyway, they used a red rock, a red granite, and it is really eye-catching.
Where is it at there, Mike?
At Madame Dorian Park, at the mouth of the Walla Walla River.
Is it on the north or south side of the river?
It's in the park on the east side of Highway 12,
Before you go across the bridge?
after the bridge.
After the bridge. I'll have to
Yeah.
go over there and look.
Yeah,
Thank
check
you.
it out.
Will. Yeah.
But they have a really nice, it's a 4-inch thick slab, and I have photos of it if you want to see it, but it is truly well done. It's I don't know if the Fish and Wildlife people will have it on here, but Walla Walla County put it up. And it came out really nice. Here it is, the memorial, Madame Dorian Memorial there. They may have a photo of it. I don't see it. But anyway, it's a 4-inch thick
Oh, yeah.
slab. It's
Wow.
red marble, and the font and the lettering, here it is, right there. That's it, right there. You had it.
Yeah, I know. I clicked on it. It went away.
Up in the upper left-hand corner there.
Yeah.
And it's just really well done, and it's very legible. So I don't know who did it in town here, but the material it was carved out on and the font they used, everything, you can read it all. And it's been up for, close to 10 years now. So, but it came out really nice.
Looks
Thank
like
you,
it's on
Mike.
a base of,
Yeah, it's River Rock base.
Ah,
I don't know why I can't just
nicely done.
open up bigger. Darn it. Well, anyhow, you get the idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's really nice. And so I think as time goes by, we need to think about the background color and what would be legible over time.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Mike, because, a lot of times they use a black granite or a real dark gray. And
Yeah,
over time, it becomes really hard to read the names because whereas, you can,
it
if
weathers
dirt and
out.
stuff builds up in the lettering, it still will pop out on a lighter granite.
Right. And this is a pale pink kind of rosy granite. And it's just really illegible now. And that gets a lot of wind and dust, silt in the air out there, and it's still very legible.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, as I get more information from the granite companies, I mean, the Wiley Monument was the only person that I reached out to when we were just trying to get in a budget idea
Yeah.
for the project. So there's an outfit in the Tri-Cities I'm gonna get a hold of, and then there's Wiley in town, and isn't there another one?
Yeah, there's Wiley on Main Street, and then there's another one that's on Dalles Military Road down near Sun Rental in the building that's has a yoga studio in the front and then a monument place in the back of the building.
Yep.
Okay. One last thing on this. If you guys are doing research and you choose to get together, keep it to 2 so that you don't form a quorum.
Right.
We wouldn't want that.
My head count.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, and then I guess if we're ready, we'll move into the ground penetrating radar just kind of an update. The final report is available now. It's attached. I'm not going to go through it because you all have seen it, and it's just the final report.
Right.
And that's been filed with the state, and we're closing that out. We have got to send over the GIS files to them, but it's pretty much done. I was working with Bernie today on getting some stuff downloaded onto a drive that I can mail off to the state. So what I was going to try to show you, so I think the last time we did a presentation of the final report, the pictures that we had there wasn't really a good map that showed where we thought the grave sites were that overlaid kind of the cemetery. And so we have a better drawing, a map now. And so the kind of blue areas that you're seeing here, it's a really big file. So anytime I move it around, it has a hard time reloading, but we do have a record that shows where we think most of the burials are, which, this doesn't account for the 600 or 700 people that are buried there. So they're either people were relocated or they're buried on top of grave upon grave, but Bernard Housen, he kind of went through that with us when he presented the final report, but just wanted to give you a little update on that.
Okay. I think that was a really valuable thing to do, because I'm looking down the road in the future, and invariably someone's going to come along and offer the city a College Place funding to build on that. I know that. And I'm thinking, with this in hand, they can always say, sorry, that's never going to be built on, unless they are willing to pay for the removal of the graves and put them elsewhere, which down the road may not be all that impossible. But I'm really glad that this was done, because I think it will preserve their memory and it won't sweep the poor farm away. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. I mean, in particular down where the old rail line is,
Yeah.
I think it was really valuable information to find that there actually are several burials on the old railroad right of way that we need to make sure that we protect.
And
I wonder when the railway was built over them. Would have been in the 1940s then? We don't know.
Don't know. I suspect there's even burials on into that vacant area south of the park or the railroad as well.
Yeah, well, it's possible. This was the limit of the area, so.
Right.
I wonder why there are no blue indications of graves on the western half of this rectangle.
Yeah, I was surprised that there were not more that there weren't some identified over here.
Yeah. I'm gonna guess there were more towards the old house and the actual poor farm. So I wonder if they're not under these homes that are there now.
Well, I mean, the survey, went over the property lines right here.
Right.
So, this area was GPR.
It indicates no graves between the blue and the edge.
Right.
On the east side.
Huh.
But it doesn't indicate. Yeah.
So I think there's pretty solid evidence that there are not any graves underneath the homes or on the
Yeah.
country estates property, which is a relief. I mean, that would be a
Yeah.
poltergeist situation.
I know in talking with Dell and Lenore Wagner, who had developed, along with some other people, the mobile home, they were quite adamant that they tried to avoid doing anything like that. And they, they didn't dig very deep because none of those houses have foundations, but, they did do sewer and water lines, and they said they didn't hit anything, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad it was done. I think that's a big plus for College Place.
Yeah, it was a neat project, and I bet that there will be other projects like this that the state funds grants for. They were really excited about it, and very interested in the final product. So I think that we'll see this other areas will get to do this as well.
And just as an aside, I'm not surprised at all if sometimes they would put more than one person in each hole. I mean, back in those days where you're digging by pick and shovel, I don't think it was that uncommon to probably stack people in, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, John, I want to thank you for getting the funding to do this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys for your involvement in it. It was a fun project.
Well, what is the next thing on our agenda here?
Let me find it. That's it. I guess I could give you a brief update on the 75th anniversary book. Christy has been helping to locate higher quality images from the images that were identified for the work that you guys did. Some of them were not reproducible for a book.
Yeah.
So I think she's narrowed it down. There were about roughly 20 that were in question. But I think we're pretty close to wrapping that part of it up.
Yeah, I was down this morning and she and I went through the rest of those photos that they didn't know their origin and got that done.
So more to come on that project. So we're not there yet, but we're getting closer. So that's all I have. The next meeting would be at the March 17th, same time.
St. Patrick's Day.
Well, you know what
Yes,
they
it
say,
is, isn't it?
March the 17th, sleep the 18th.
Never heard that.
Well, okay then. Well, I move that we adjourn and come back all energized in a month.
All right.
Okay,
Take care.
great. Thank you.
Good to see you guys. Thank
Good
you
to
very
see you.
much.